So for ages now, I've been sitting here wondering why, thinking to myself, oh man, when are they going to do a reboot of Roadhouse? Oh man, they should really do a reboot of Roadhouse. No one has been thinking that, not even me, nobody at all. But Hollywood has, and they've decided, hey, let's give everyone a Roadhouse reboot they didn't ask for. Let's talk about this nonsense. So you may be sitting there being a bit confused about why they're rebooting Roadhouse. I don't know personally, but guess who's involved in it again? You guessed it. It's Amazon again. So yeah, let's go straight to this and talk about this. This is coming straight from Variety, and I'm going to label down this article for you right now. Let's go. So the article says, Jake Gyllenhaal starring Roadhouse reboot gets green light at Prime Video. For no bizarre reason. Oscar and Tony nominated actor Jake Gyllenhaal is officially set to star in Roadhouse, a reimagined take on the classic movie starring Patrick Swayze for Amazon Prime. In case you didn't know, reimagined basically means the only thing Roadhouse about this film will be the film's name, and everything else will have nothing to do with Roadhouse. I'm sorry, Mr. Swayze. Humanity is letting you down. Doug Liman will direct the new movie from a script written by Anthony Bagarozzi and Charles Mondry. After producing the original film for MGM in 1989, Joel Silver is back on board to produce the reimagining for his company Silver Pictures. J.J. Hawk, Alison Winter, and Aaron Alk will serve as executive producers. So straight away, they think having Joel Silver is more than enough. Okay, we've got Joel Silver, people are going to be okay with it now, yeah, because he produced the original. That don't mean shit. Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 were directed by James Cameron. James Cameron was executive producer on Terminator Genesis and was producer on Terminator Dark Fate. And guess what? They both stunk the theater out. They were both terrible. Because the problem is, once the person involved with the original doesn't really care about it anymore, they're not going to make it good. James Cameron don't care about Terminator. He's moved on. As far as he's concerned, oh, that's just two films I did in the 80s and 90s. Avatar's my baby now. So having him on board means nothing, and having Joel Silver on board with this film means absolutely nothing. Reports that Gyllenhaal and Liman were circling the project broke in November 2021. Prime Video officially announced the film's production's impending start on Tuesday. This is what they said. Roadhouse is a home run for us. Not only is this a nod to the fans of the original, but it is also a big, fun, broad audience movie. No, it's not. It's an action movie. This is a film for guys. A girl who isn't into action films will have no interest in this film whatsoever. We are thrilled to collaborate with Joel Doug and this great cast led by Jake Gyllenhaal, and for them to come together to reimagine the classic MGM film as an action-packed adventure for our global audience. It's not an adventure. Jesus Christ. I'm thrilled to put my own spin on the beloved Roadhouse legacy. Well, there you go. My own spin. I.e., this ain't Roadhouse. Oh my God, what is wrong with Hollywood? Oh. Doug Liman shared in a statement, and I can't wait to show audiences what Jake and I are going to do with this iconic role. You're gonna fuck it up. That's what you're gonna do. It goes on to basically tell us what the original was about. If you don't know, basically in the original film, in a small deep south town in America, James Dalton is basically Patrick Swayze. He's a bouncer in another club. Some guy that owns some mashed up club that's got a lot of bad people rolling on it sees him, hires him to be his bouncer. While he's there, he's trying to clean up, and then you got your typical 80s guy that wants to run the town, who basically doesn't like that Dalton's kicking his guys out of the club, then tries to stop booze getting distributed to this club, and then basically one by one, as usual in 80s fashion, Swayze basically just kicks everyone in the face, beats a load of people up. Sam Elliott actually comes in with his old ass, and he comes in and he helps Patrick Swayze beat up people, and it's amazing film. Patrick Swayze is showing off his martial arts skills, and I think it was a really good film in the 80s if you were into action movies. But here's the problem. Part of the magic of that film is the 80s. It's not the 80s. You can't modernize these 80s films and still possess the magic. You lose it once you remove the 80s. And when you remove Patrick Swayze and replace him with Jake Gyllenhaal, I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but he ain't Patrick Swayze, man. Come on. Oh. He goes on to say, the original Roadhouse has a special place in my heart, and I'm so excited to bring this newly imagined version to audiences around the world, Joel Silver said. Doug and I have each made some big, boisterous action movies, and are ready to bring everything we can to this one. According to the studio, the new take stars Jake Gyllenhaal as a former UFC fighter. Dalton is not a former UFC fighter. Change number 1, who takes a job as a bouncer at a rough and tumble roadhouse in Florida Keys, but soon discovers not everything is what it seems in this tropical paradise. So basically, we have gone from being in the deep south to now being in the heart of Florida. Change number 2. So you have to ask yourself, what other changes are they going to make to this film? Because they've already changed 2 major parts, where it's located. So if it's not in the deep south, you're going to have completely different types of people, because the people in the original are from the deep south. That's the way they are. It's part of their personality, you know, because where they're from, you know, where you're from is part of you. And that's how they were. They acted like deep south people. So they're not in the deep south no more, they're in Florida. Well, they're from Jacksonville, yeah? It's just ridiculous. And now he's a UFC fighter. Oh, come on. Dude, come on. Just stop with this rubbish. Let it go. Make your own movie. Stop shitting on things that other people have made. Patrick Swayze left us so many great movies. But without a shadow of a doubt, Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse are probably his most memorable. Okay, you can throw Ghost in there too. I love that film. But for me, those are his 3 best films. Not his best acting performances, but his best movies overall. He's done much better acting performances elsewhere, obviously. I mean, if you haven't followed his work, go follow his work. Before he passed away, man, he was on a show and he was killing it. The guy had cancer and he was still killing it in that. Man, so much respect for that man. And I feel like it's an insult to his legacy to reboot a film of his and destroy it. I mean, how many reboots can you name off the tip of your tongue, off the top of your head, that have been better than the original? You can't. There hasn't been any. It's never happened. Not once. I mean, how many of them have made the studio a lot of money? None. Most of them have lost the studio money. Because that's society telling you, nobody wants this. We prefer the original. And what happens is, they reboot these films and everyone goes and rushes and watches the original. Reboot Robocop. Oh, everyone wants to watch Robocop now. Oh, Terminator Dark Fate. Let's go back and watch Terminator 2. That's exactly what happens. Every single time. You just make the public want to watch the original. They don't want to watch your garbage excuse for a reboot. Just kidding. Oh my God. Well, it's going to describe to me how much this is pissing me off. This is so dumb. It does not make any sense why you need to make this film. And apparently I read somewhere as well, not so long ago, Ronda Rousey was trying to get a gender-swapped reboot of this film as well. And it's like, oh my God, could you imagine a whole film centered around Ronda Rousey? Oh, that would not have been watchable. She's not an actress. Some people are actors and some people aren't. She's not one of them. But anyway, man, what do you guys think of this nonsense? Have you seen the original Roadhouse? Are you a fan of it? Or have you only recognized it from Peter Griffin saying it in Family Guy? And as usual, guys, if you like this video, like the video, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this next reboot disaster coming from Amazon. As usual, see you guys later, and take care, man.